All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to React and Chill. On this channel, there's two things I like to do: sit on my butt and listen to good music. But here, I'm actually going to be sitting on my butt talking about good music, talking about a band called The Warning, and the song is Consume, and really talking about why I think this song is underrated. I'm going to lay it out here, and obviously elements of the song that I think, are very strong and of really good value there. And overall, I think the song is a very lovely song. It's very nice to listen to, but there's a interesting message in the song that is like when you listen to it, you're like, oh man, this song has some depth to it. Like what's going on here, you know? So first and foremost, let's talk about a little bit more about the song here. So Consume is, as you know, as you may not know anyway, the 11th track on the Warning's fourth studio album, Keep Me Fed. And there was a track-by-track breakdown that Paulina had done, and she explained that this song, Consume, is about participating in a cycle of overconsumption and complaining about the system, but also feeding it and doing the same thing that you're complaining about. Okay, like a little bit of hypocrisy and all that stuff, but you see that time and time again with people, maybe even with yourself, if you're honest, if there's some introspection there. We all kind of do it. We all complain about the system, but yet we feed into the system. And the system I'm using for could be anything. That's kind of a general, broad placeholder term there that you could put anything there, honestly, and make it work. This is notable for another reason, that this is one of the songs, I think the first song anyway, that has explicit language, an F-bomb in there. And some people have some thoughts about that, but it's The Warning. I mean, they're growing up, and let them be creative in their way if they want to do this. I mean, I don't see them becoming that band that's going to have F-bombs in every song. I do think that is gets overplayed, and it kind of it seems like, like a placeholder. There's some bands I'll use a lot of F-bombs, and it becomes like a placeholder for another word that could have worked or whatever. But yeah, anyway. So the thing that I really like about the song, well, first, let's talk about what we hear in this song when we play it. Right from the beginning, we get like this very cool low guitar and drum combination, which leads the bass in. And when the bass comes in, we get a much fuller sound. Now, this whole thing in the beginning, to me, is more of a texture than it is like a riff with a hook to it. It's more of a texture, a sound that kind of brings you in. It's more of like, it creates this sort of like, I was about to say environment, but no, it's just like not an ambience, but it's just, there's this ocean of sound, if that makes sense. It's not like a slick, dank riff like sometimes we get from Danny, the riff master. No, it's more of just a texture that we're diving into, if that makes sense. It's a great texture, and what we get there is elements that have kind of like this gloss to it, but with some grit as well, which goes along with the lyrics. I mean, the lyrics are kind of, and in one way, it's doing two things there. In one way, kind of shining light that you would think would be kind of positive, but also it kind of like there's some negative, like almost like cynicism to it. It's showing both. We'll get into that a little bit here. So I think it's a nice background, like the music we hear in the beginning. It creates a nice background of like, you could say cynicism, melancholy, things like that, with a little bit of gloss for Danny's voice. Now, this song's interesting because Danny sings, Paulina sings. Sometimes I'll watch a live performance and it seems like Paulina's doing all the singing. I don't know. It's like, you're going to have to let me know. I think it looks like one of those things where it's like there's a changing here and there depending on who wants to do what. Or maybe, maybe it is, because it sounds like on the recording of it, it's Danny coming in first, and then, because you could tell their voices apart, and then Paulina coming in later, and that's where we get to. That's that, and then we get it. We get it. What I would say is the main hook, when it comes in hard and it comes in sharp. Paulina coming in with her voice and the just rapid delivery of her lines there. The guitar lays this nice slick riff during that moment, which is there's something going on with the guitar effect. Like I don't know what it is. It just makes it like the guitar have like this nice brighter tone. It's almost like something's layered over it. It's very cool sounding. Back when I played guitar, a little bit, like when I was in high school, I had this guitar pedal, and it had this effect called octave. And every time you'd play, it sounded like amazing because there was like this other sound on top of it, which was like I guess the next octave or whatever it is you were playing. Just like in the way I would the way I would describe it is like just a kind of sugary sound on top of whatever it is you're playing. It was like kind of nice. It kind of sounds something like that. It's nice, bright, welcoming tone. That's also slick. Yeah, it sounds very good. It hooks you. This is definitely the part. The chorus is definitely the part that really, I think, keeps you locked in for the rest of the ride of this song. That is like, boom, the best part. That's why I think the song is a little bit underrated, because like if you don't get immersed from the beginning, like the beginning parts of it, you might dismiss everything else, right? But I think the strength there, I think the reason why the beginning is like that, though, is to kind of think like the vibe of the song is kind of like that. You kind of have this slow kind of intro, kind of slow burn, and then to make that chorus really have like the big impact that it has. And yeah, it works. And then let's talk about the drum beat. The drum beat with the bass there, you have like this punchy, bouncy sound to it, which just is just great. In fact, if anything, let's talk about the bass and drum there. You get the bass and drum plus the vocal harmony coming from Alejandra. I think all that creates like a very nice, sort of relaxed, soothing background to all of this song here. Like the majority of the song throughout it, you hear that frequently, right? And then, of course, we get a guitar solo in this song. Now, it's not like some wild shredding, like Zakk Wylde, guitar solo thing, but it's a nice, relaxed, it fits the vibe of the song. It has nice, bright tones to it. It feels right. It belongs there. It has a nice sound. And when if you have seen them play live, during that, Paulina will do, either Paulina or Danny or maybe both, will do like their little dance, the little strut across the stage there, which are very nice there. Another cool thing about this song, I mentioned it about the lyrics. So this song has some lyrics that really bite, and when I say that is things like gritty little effort, seek my teeth and bleed you out and look for another. When you hear that said so rapidly like that, it's like not only the rapid delivery gets your attention, but I think the words, the choice of wording here, is very, very vivid, very visceral. Like gritty little effort, of course. I sink my teeth in. Okay, sounds pretty violent. Bleed you out. Look for another. Okay, dressed up for slaughter, and I'll keep it undercover. Lips painted and parted, alone and unguarded. Okay, and I willingly participate. I crack a smile and close my eyes and disassociate. Like this, it creates like a very intense image of like something like it very violent, but the way it's said, like you're like, oh, it sounds fun. You follow me on that one? I think you do. I hope you do anyway. Blame the problem, but no, I'm still part of it. I hate the part of it. I hate that I'm part of it. Yeah, so like I like the lyrics here. I like what's going on. It creates a very cool song with some depth to it, definitely. And overall, that's why I think this song really works for me, and I hope it works for you guys. If you haven't heard it in a while, definitely check it out. It's obviously, you guys could tell for the title and what I've been talking about this whole time. We're talking about The Warning. The song is Consume, and I think it is underrated. I think it's one that sometimes people just kind of overlook there, but I think it's a really good song, and I hope you guys check it out again. And if there's anything in here that you think I missed, feel free to fill that in the comment section. If there's anything in here that you disagree with, yeah, sure, let me know. I mean, we all have different opinions here. If there's anything you agree with, definitely let me know, because, well, I like that for sure, So anyway, if you like this, I thought it was good, you can always support the way you want, like it, share it, they want to throw in super thanks or whatever, that's cool too. And that said, I'll take it easy and have a good one.